Those of you who have wanted to set up an SMSF before but haven't made the step yet, I'm talking to you. This is another big mistake. It's time in the market, not timing the market. So get involved, but don't sit on the sidelines because you need to be involved in the game. You can't be sitting on the bench watching. You can't use your SMSF for personal expenses. It's a big no-no. If you've only got a single person fund, you don't really have a lot of options. You can really only... Another mistake that you don't want to make is welcome to SMSF Insider, where we help busy professionals to gain financial independence using an SMSF. Hi, I'm Troy, founder of Blue Chip SMSF Services. And over the last 20 years, I've helped thousands of Aussies manage the complexities of self-managed super funds. And in this podcast, I'll answer your questions, break down the myths, so you can take charge of your financial freedom. Let's get into it. Hi guys, and welcome to this edition of SMSF Insider, where we'll be talking about some costly mistakes that you can avoid when establishing your SMSF. So the first one is choosing the wrong trustee structure. So when you're establishing an SMSF, you need what's called a trustee. Now that can be either a corporate trustee, which is a company, or it can be two individual trustees or a minimum of two individual trustees. Now, if you've only got a single person fund, you don't really have a lot of options. You can really only have a corporate trustee. However, if you do choose two individual trustees as your trustee structure, then you need to be mindful if that relationship dissolves later on down the track for whatever reason, or there's a death between either party, then that can create some issues and some costs with your SMSF. So it's important to get the trustee structure correctly up front. So make sure you speak to somebody around establishing or helping you with making that decision. The next one is just copy and pasting your investment strategy. So with this, your investment strategy should be tailored towards your investment, your SMSF or your self-managed super fund. So it needs to outline how your funds are going to be invested is essentially what an investment strategy does or is. So making sure that it's suited and tailored exactly towards your SMSF, and you haven't just copied and pasted it from somebody else's investment strategy. Another common mistake is having assets in your own name instead of the name of the SMSF. So when you're purchasing assets for your SMSF, those assets need to be in the name of your SMSF. So if you're purchasing property, or you're purchasing bullion, or you're purchasing crypto, or you're purchasing shares, or whatever you're purchasing, make sure that the assets are in the name of your SMSF and not in your own personal name. Another common mistake is forgetting to roll over your super from any existing super funds. Now, there's been a lot of circumstances where we've set up funds and clients have forgotten about an old account that was established many years ago, and the money's just sitting there not doing anything. So keeping a track of all your super funds, keeping them all together so that if you do eventually decide to consolidate into an SMSF, you know exactly where all your funds are. Another mistake is going to cash in downturns. So this could be said for any sort of investing really, but with SMSFs, it's no different. When there is a cash, or when there is a downturn, I should say, you want to make sure that you're not reverting to cash, otherwise, but you'll potentially miss the upside when the markets do eventually recover. Just quickly, guys, if you're a busy professional, fed up with traditional super funds and overwhelmed by the setup of your SMSF, we can help. Book in a call with my team using the link in the show notes, and let's build your future on your terms. Now, back to the episode. Another mistake that we often see is just with your investments is just making sure you're keeping track of them, and you're actually checking on your investments and seeing how they're performing throughout the year. instead of waiting until the end of the financial year. Keep an eye on them throughout the financial year, and that way you're staying abreast of how your portfolio is tracking in general. Setting your SMSF up by yourself is another common mistake that we see. It's often ends in a bit of a mess and it can be an expensive, they can be expensive to fix. So when you are establishing an SMSF, make sure you're getting the right advice and you're establishing your fund with someone who has experience in this space. Another mistake that you probably don't want to make is not updating your binding death nomination should your relationship dissolve with your partner or you're getting divorced. The last thing you want is your hard-earned retirement savings go to your ex-spouse. So make sure that your binding death nomination reflects where you actually want your proceeds to go when you pass away. Another mistake is using your SMSF for personal expenses. It's something that it's a big no-no. You can't use your SMSF for personal expenses, and you certainly can't use it as a piggy bank and dip into it whenever you please. There are restrictions around accessing funds, and you need to meet what's called a condition of release. And for those conditions of release, speak to your advisor or your SMSF professional around what you need to do to meet a condition of release. But personal expenses is certainly not one of them. Over-diversification is another mistake that we often see where clients are over-diversifying. They've got too much of a spread, and that can sometimes suppress their returns overall. Finally, last but not least, is procrastination. So those of you who have wanted to set up an SMSF before but haven't made the step yet, I'm talking to you. These are the guys. This is another big mistake. If you are thinking about doing it, the markets are moving. They have been moving for a long time. So yes, they do crash at some point, but it's time in the market, not timing the market. So get involved, speak to your advisor, speak to someone who can point you in the right direction and help you through this process. But don't sit on the sidelines because you want to get involved. If you want the good returns, you need to be involved in the game. You can't be sitting on the bench watching. So that's it, guys. Thank you for listening. That is episode number, I'm not sure, but thank you for listening. If you've got any comments, please make a comment in the comment section, or if there's something you want us to talk about, please let us know. We'd love to talk about something that you're interested in. So leave a comment, and thank you for listening. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of SMSF Insider. If you got value from this, make sure you subscribe so you never miss the strategies we share to help you take control of your financial future. Find us on socials at Blue Chip SMSF or book a call with our team to see if we can help you.